She was only 12 years old when prosecutors say she lured a classmate into the woods, nearly stabbing her to death to please a fictional character called Slenderman. Today, 23-year-old Morgan Geyser was back in court for an extradition hearing. Police say she recently escaped her group home in Wisconsin by cutting off her tracking bracelet, but was eventually found about 150 miles away in the suburbs of Chicago. Our Ike Ajachi joins me now for more. So what's the latest from court, Ike?
Yeah, Kara, 23-year-old Morgan Geyser spent about 30 seconds inside that Illinois courtroom as she signed a waiver allowing her to be extradited back to Wisconsin. Now, her waiving her extradition essentially sped up the process of her facing the consequences of violating that conditional release back in Wisconsin. Now, over the weekend, she set off a nationwide search for her whereabouts after police say she allegedly cut off her ankle bracelet and fled her Madison, Wisconsin home with the 43-year-old individual. Body camera footage later showed her and that individual, later identified as Chad Mecca, sleeping on a sidewalk behind a gas station in Posen, Illinois, 25 miles south of Chicago, and as you said, about 150 miles north of her group home. Now, at first, she didn't want to give her name to the officers, but she eventually did so, later saying that she has done something wrong and that they should Google her. As you said, when she was 12 years old, her and an accomplice led a classmate into the woods where she stabbed them several times. That victim did survive, but Geyser was later found not guilty for reasons of mental disease, where she was later sentenced to decades in that mental health institution, an institution that she was just recently granted conditional release from back in September from a Wisconsin judge. Kira.
Well, I guess Geyser returned to the same group home that she escaped from, or is she going to have to, I don't know, be in a more locked down facility?
Well, the Waukesha County District Attorney's Office said that Geyser's next court date is contingent on the Department of Human Services in Wisconsin filing a petition to ask her to be sent back to that mental health institution. So the district attorney's office has already said they support her going back into that health institution and hopefully reversing what the judge did, which is essentially grant her that conditional release. So at the moment, Kira, it's unlikely that she'll return back to that group home.
Today I'm sitting here with Jeffrey Pagel, a figurehead within the murderabilia community, and Morgan Geyser's ex-boyfriend. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Morgan and some of the more recent things that have happened with her being released and being put in a group home, and then her ultimate escape, and kind of hearing your thoughts on that. But before we really jump into those details, I first want to start off with kind of your background. You were a correctional officer at one point, and then you switched over into more being an enthusiast of true crime and murderabilia and things like that. So what can you tell us about your experience as a correctional officer?
So I was a correctional officer from 2005 to 2015, and I had to retire at a young age because I got a lot of autoimmune diseases. So I have like rheumatoid arthritis, I actually like 3 or 4 different ones that are similar, but I got a lot of these debilitating diseases, and so for like the last 10 years, I've been sitting on my ass. But I was a correctional officer for 11 years. I loved it. I would never choose to do anything different with my life. And then actually, I got into murderabilia because it's weird. An ex-girlfriend went live on YouTube, and in front of a few hundred friends of mine and hers, she told everybody she believes that I'm a serial killer. So it got in my head. It got me thinking, why is this woman that I spent 2 years living with, why does she think that? And I just started writing people, and I wrote like 100 people within about a month or month and a half. And I got like a lot of, mostly women started responding. Morgan Geyser was the 8th person I wrote. And she was one of the few people I really close with. One of 2 people I had visits with, the other being Taylor's business.
And I definitely want to get into your relationship with Taylor's business, or whatever dynamic you guys have. That's very interesting. Also, but how did you going back to Morgan Geyser, how did you learn about her case, and at what age did you? Because she got incarcerated at 12. So at what point did you start talking to her and get to know her?
I started writing in late 2022. So my first response was like March of 2023. Turns out I didn't know this at the time. It turns out her father committed suicide, and her mother kind of um, finally started letting people write her daughter. Um, so even at like 21 years old, Morgan's mom was controlling, but she felt bad because the dad killed himself, and she started letting people write. And I was one of the few people was blessed to get a response from. And very quickly we were chatting on a telephone. She'd call me every hour for 15 minutes. Like 15 times a day. So we got to know each other quick. And yeah, I went out there, like, I can't really tell how many times, but it's like 10 times, somewhere around there. Um, Ended up on court TV because of all that crap, because I was selling her stuff, which got me on court TV.
Hmm.
Um, Morgan's got a way of manipulating anybody she wants, whether it's a boyfriend, a best friend, her doctors, the system. I've seen her do it time and time again. She's the smartest person I've ever known. You wouldn't think so, but she's highly intelligent. She's a master manipulator, and I've been called that my entire life. So she's good.
Um, there's like a theory that people have that people's almost have like a sense of like arrested development depending on the age that they were like arrested in. And so if a person got arrested at 20, they kind of like developmentally stay at 20 because life kind of stops a little bit. Do you feel like that's the case with Morgan at such a young age?
Yeah,
Does she seem childlike? Does she seem like a 12-year-old?
there's parts of her that are a grown woman. She's got grown woman feelings and a sex drive, and I've seen some of the most intense letters that have ever been written are from her. Um, but then there's parts of her that are stuck at a maturity level of 12 years old. So yeah, there's times where she's out of touch with reality. At times she'll prance around a lot of times on a natural high.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean there is times where she is kind of at a maturity level of a young teenager. Yeah, definitely. Which I mean, I've been fucking ridiculed from family members to just complete strangers sending me hate mail or whatever, calling me fucking the p word and all that shit. I didn't talk to her till she was 21, and I didn't expect anything to ever happen. Like, I didn't really know her case too well. I kind of had a more of a bond with that institution. I spent 7 weeks there in 2017. I attempted suicide, and Winnebago saved my life. So when I found out about her, I always heard of the Slenderman case, but I didn't really know the details too well. But when I found out she was at Winnebago, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to write her. And that's kind of probably why she started responding, and she realized I was at that place at one point in my life.
So you
She was
actually
a juvenile.
you were a
I didn't,
you were also a patient at that hospital as well as her.
yeah, spent 7 weeks there. Yep. They got me sober. I was like really, really bad with pills.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's interesting is I mean a lot of people that are in the murderabilia scene like will visit inmates and things like that. And you having been your experience with being a correctional officer, what are some of the differences between visiting someone at a mental hospital versus visiting someone at a prison?
Um, the mental hospital is a lot more open. there was one point where we had a special 3-hour visit where we were just me and her inside of a conference room, and they would check on us like every 15, 20 minutes, make sure we're not, doing nothing funny, you know. But we could have done stuff inside of that institution. They were not. It just wasn't secure. It's not like prison. When I went to go see Taylor Show Business, it was a video visit. I had to drive 90 minutes, go through prison securities, have them all look at me like, "Why are you visiting this woman?" And I sit there and I talk through a monitor because Taylor's that dangerous. But yeah. Meeting in person at the mental hospital, yeah. We could have done all kinds of stuff. We were able to kiss, and stuff like that, and hug for like a minute. But they were giving me like the man. They thought I was a creep. They really did. They would stare me down from across the hall. It'd be in a big cafeteria. Like the 1-hour visits would be in a big cafeteria, and it'd be like maybe 3 or 4 different visits going on at the same time. But yeah, because I'm a lot older than her. I'm like twice her age. I do get a lot of judgment.
Yeah. How did you said she was like the 8th person that you wrote. How did your relationship with her go from just being pen pals to being an actual romantic relationship?
Over the phone. I would say that's when we got to know each other. Then I went out there, and I didn't sell her stuff until she pissed me off. And she's got a habit of getting really close to people and then pushing them away, getting close to them again, pushing them away. And I've learned from her family members and like 3 different best friends. They all reach out to me, and we all kind of have the same story. She makes me feel like you're the only person that she's told these secrets to, and she just makes you feel special.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets scared, pushes you away, and then kind of comes back on like a year later to check on you. And if it wasn't for like that fucking WCS team, they don't let her talk to nobody. They don't even let her talk to her own mom at this point. They babysit her. The mom went to the media a few times, so they don't like the mom. They don't like me because I sold her shit. They don't like her best friend, I think, because she gave an interview one time. But yeah, they keep her from people, which is why they have crap like what just happened.
Mm-hmm.
They got some creeps sneaking through her window. Like, I don't know where the hell that guy came from. Well, Morgan does have a big heart, and she does want to help people. So I'm sure she did feel like she was helping that guy in some manner. I wrote him a letter. I tracked down his home address. And I wrote him a letter just out of curiosity to see if this guy will respond to me. I'm sure he knows who I am. I'm sure she's told him about me.
Yeah, I'm sure that anyone who really dives deep into the Slenderman case and gets close with Morgan Geyser wants to know more about it. Your name pops up. I mean, you've been in the media because of your relationship with her. And I've seen footage of them talking about you in court.
Oh man, dude, that's the same system I risked my fucking life working for. Ripped my ass apart, making me look like a pedophile. Talking about they were too busy focused on stupid shit. Whether I was selling her postcards or whether she wrote this or whether I was sexually attracted to her. Said I was sexually attracted to her fucking crime. No, I was sexually attracted to her. She was a grown woman. She showed me attention. And I wasn't showing attention from a woman for like 2 years. So I was like, why not? But yeah, they fucking ripped me apart. And I went to my ex-wife and I always kind of give her, whatever she says goes. Even to this day, my ex-wife, I was like, "What do you want me to do, dude? Like, I'll take this. I'll go after her attorney, Anthony Cotton. I'll go after the state of Wisconsin for making up all these fucking lies on me. Even in court, they're like, "Do you got any evidence on that? About he was attracted to the crime?" And they're like, no, we don't have anything. Because there isn't any. It's all bullshit. And they made up a lot of weird lies, too. Like, their facts at Winnebago are not correct. They said it the last time I visited her was June of 2023, when in fact it was like October of 2024, when she started turning transgender for a minute. I was able to see her a couple times.
So with the relationship that you had with her, did you get close with her family at all? Did you get to know her mom or
I talked to her mom. I talked to her mom after my first falling out with her, and it was kind of she told me that there was a 60-something-year-old man that she was talking to in Illinois. She was more concerned about that relationship than she was with me. But she seemed, I don't know, I talked to her on Facebook for maybe like a half hour. She seemed really nice, but she kind of, I was honest. I was like, your daughter just, dude, she's the smartest person in the room, and she'll get in your head and she'll fuck with your emotions. Her mom was kind of like, I was like, your daughter's like Hannibal Lecter, dude. Because she's that smart. She's scary smart.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's not a defense or whatever, but I think I wonder what it's like to survive in there. You've talked to other female inmates also. I think sometimes you have to use your sexuality or use your whatever to
Mm-hmm.
get needs met, whatever. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 So I mean, you kind of hit it on the head a little bit, and I want to dive a little bit more. The idea of dating someone in prison, especially someone who is serving potentially like a life sentence and things like that, comes with a lot of stigma. And I was wondering if you could kind of share more, like what's your response from family, what's your response from like the community, things like that. Especially with you being so fascinated with deadly women.
Yeah, my family's pretty accepting for the most part. Morgan's a different situation, you know. She didn't kill anybody. She's not doing life. You know, there was that possibility of her getting out, living a normal life.
Mhm.
It might happen again one day. I don't see it happening for probably a couple of years now. But Morgan was a different situation than other women I've talked to. Like I could tell you women like Cassandra Borg in Georgia. I got really close with her, and she was kind of like, all right, Jeff, just, you can go ahead and fuck any women you want. Just go ahead and tell me. I don't want to get jealous. And I went ahead and told her about a woman that I was hanging out with, and bam, shut me down. So like, some women expect you to like stop your life for them, and I'm like, no, it's not happening. Morgan was different though, because there was the impossibility of her getting out. I mean, she still has the possibility of getting out, but I don't know. She's probably facing new charges. I know they're keeping a lot of stuff hush hush right now. They're talking about bringing her back to Winnebago, though, it looks like.
In your relationship with Morgan, did you talk to either of the other girls involved with the Slenderman stabbing?
No, I wrote Anissa a letter the same time I wrote Morgan, and I never got a response from her. And I didn't want to bother her because I knew she lived with her father, and I ain't trying to piss off some old, you know, some dude either, you know. Because these people do live right next, you know. When Morgan was on the loose, you best believe I don't think I slept more than 12 minutes that night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I think she's going to show up here. I always told her no matter what, she's got a place, you know, to crash. Did I think she was going to escape? Fuck no. Like, who the hell gets 99% of the way done and says, oh, okay, fuck it, and does that? You know? I couldn't believe it when I heard it on the news. Oh, and then my phone went shut, you know. I don't think I slept for like a week. People just crawl out of the woodwork.
Were you worried that she was going to show up and maybe hurt you, or do you think she was just going to show up and hang out?
I think that there's a possibility that I pissed her off selling her shit, even though at the end she was okay with it and she was giving me stuff to sell. Like at the like last fall of it was like fall of 2024. She gave me like 10 or 15 drawings on a visit, and she was like, "I hope your kids have a nice Christmas." And she knows I'm gonna fucking spoil them, which is what I do now. I sell like 90% of my shit from like November to December. And I spoil my kids for Christmas and their birthdays or in the holidays too. So yeah, I did think that me selling that fucking octopus that thing could have gotten me killed. So I was like, okay, if I die from an octopus, it'll happen, and my kids will be rich. They'll tell some story about it or something. So there's that. Yeah, but I did think there was a possibility she's gonna either fucking hurt me or want to just fuck me or something.
Well, that's funny that you bring up the octopus because I'm the current owner of the octopus.
Yes, I know you are.
And that's that I would say, like, when it comes to Morgan Geyser murderabilia, like that's one of the heavy hitter.
That's so cool, dude. Isn't that fucking cool? Oh my god. Like that, like they wait. Ooh. Yeah, she pissed me off like twice. And but yeah. Cool ass piece, man. Very cool.
Funny story about it. So she gave you the octopus and she wrote a little letter detailing that to you. And somehow,
the name of it, yeah.
Yeah,
they got separated and you came across both of them.
Yeah, they got separated and somehow they both ended up with me. And so to me, I'm like,
I remember that. How fucking cool is that, man? Because her stuff's like not easy to find. You're not gonna. I've tried buying back her stuff from time to time, and I do. But her stuff's hard to find. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got you on the line right now. Can you give me some, elaborate on the octopus story? How you got the octopus? What's the story behind the octopus?
Yeah, she gave it to me on one of the first visits I had with her, and I gave her a crab, a stuffed animal I got from Walgreens. I think she told me she was going to give me a stuffed animal, and I told her I'm going to pick her up one in exchange, and I got her a crab. And do you know the whole story behind this on how I fucking fucked with her?
No.
Okay. I was bad on my part, and this is true. I fucking bought a replica, bro, and I gave her the replica after our falling out.
Right.
So for the first, yes. So I had to come clean, though. So, like, after I did it, I think 6 months goes by, and then she comes back around. Like I said, she pushes people away, and then she'll come looking for you. And she found me, and I had to fess up to her. And she was like, "I don't even care about that, man. Don't even worry about that shit." And I was like, dude, I thought she was going to kill me over it. But yeah, I gave her a fucking replica because it was like our first falling out. And she had a picture. I actually got the picture. This is true right here. This is what she gave me. It's a picture of my kids. It's a collage that my daughter made for me for school.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks, and my daughter is just speaking a little nice about me. It's got a couple of pictures of my daughter on it. And I put it on the back, I put it, so, she's my gift from God Meet Ariana. And so Morgan, had that in her possession for like, probably about a year. And she gave me that back, and I was like, okay, I'm going to give her a stuffed animal back. Yeah, so I came clean, and she didn't even care, dude. So I was sitting there tracking him down. I was like, oh, okay, I got to come across it. And I kept them, and I think it was sold maybe twice since me or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, Call Collectibles had it, and he's like, if someone's going to get this within I'm trying to bust any move I can. I might have got $400 or something like that, but I think he was asking $8,000 or $1,000, and it's worth more than that, man.
Yeah,
I got a lot for that. I got like Cosmo hooked me up big time on that one.
So you said
Yeah.
you gave her a replica. So I have the original one though.
You have the original one. She had the replica, and she didn't even care. She was like, I don't even care.
Well,
Yeah, I felt very bad about that. Yeah, that's cool that you got that card. Like the fucking odds of that happening.
yeah.
Have you seen another postcard floating around of hers? You know?
No. I mean, I
I don't
mostly
think
the
shit.
stuff I see being sold is her art. I don't really see any postcards or whatever. So the fact that I got a card
The
with her,
only thing I have left from her is this is the first piece of art she ever gave me.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's the first piece she ever gave me. And it's unsigned, but I always kept it because it was the first piece.
Um, so did you have any what were your thoughts when she ultimately was going to get released and put in the group home? Did you think she was going to be successful, or did you have thoughts that she was going to?
I did. I thought Anissa can do it. Morgan's much smarter. She'll easily be able to pull this off.
And then,
Um,
were you in correspondence with her when she was?
no,
Or
we
no?
haven't talked since last fall. I kind of, because, and then especially once I was brought up in court TV, and like, her attorney had my back at times, but then at times he didn't. So, I don't really want to fuck around with her. If I don't want to, I already could have, costed her a couple months time, earlier this year by selling her art. They were fucking around too focused on that.
Um, so
Yeah.
when the news got out that she escaped, especially with this guy, what was your
Oh,
reaction? What were your thoughts on that?
I was in shock. I was like, who the hell is this weird freak? And then you keep on hearing like these stories. Is it a male? Is it a female? She's just she'll fall in love with anybody. She will. Like she's what is it, asexual? I believe, where she can fall in love with
Oh,
not bisexual. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. She identifies as all kinds of different things, but she's definitely in big trouble now.
Hmm.
I mean, if she goes to prison, I have women out that will look out for her and give her a safe place to live, because I know quite a few from that prison.
You spent this time with her. She's diagnosed with being schizophrenic. Did you see any signs of that in your talking with her, hanging out with her, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't really learn this until later on, but she has not been taking her meds for schizophrenia since like before I even met her. So it was like early 2023. She she doesn't want to feel her dad's a monster. Her dad, did all those horrible things to her, and he did. Um, but she doesn't want to be tied to him in any kind of way. So she went against her doctor's schizophrenia diagnosis. She doesn't take her psych meds anymore. She doesn't take her schizophrenia meds, not since like early 2023. I did see her a couple, well, at least one time when she was like talking to like group of animals, and she had nicknames for them all, and she's like giving them all voices and shit like that. And um, I kind of let her have her moment, and then and then she realized I was there. But yeah, I've seen her like having moments. I do think she's schizophrenic.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did she ever open up to you about the crime, how she feels about it, her thoughts on Slender Man? If she does she still hold the same beliefs? And if
No, she isn't. She would she never would talk about the crime. Although I'm going back in my head reading some of these letters. I still have some of the things in my. One of the quotes I remember her saying was like, "All I wanted was freedom for my 12th birthday, and I got it. I did see her like write something like that, but her, she never talked about her crime much, never, and she never had any hostility. The only people she was had hostility for was Anissa. They don't get along.
What did she say about her relationship with her?
I guess Anissa would pick on her weight and make fun of her singing and just petty childhood stuff. Like that's one of those ways that she's hasn't gotten past simple being picked on by her peer. But yeah, they don't have any correspondence. They don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
And she cried, and she would cry. I have seen her cry a few times about her victim. That was her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I have seen her cry and stuff about that. Yeah.
Well, do you have any final things before we move on to other individuals that you talked to?
I just wish the best for her, and I hope she smartens up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think is going to happen from this? Do you think she's going to actually serve some like time for escape?
No, I think they're gonna look at her like a victim. I think she's gonna go back to Winnebago and she's gonna have to fight to get her conditional release terms back. That's my guess.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's not gonna get any time, but I do think she's gonna lose her conditional release, which is gonna put her into a mental hospital until she can get those rights back. So I see her kind of just being in limbo for the next year to 2 years until she gets another shot. Everybody screams outrage, outrage, outrage! Burn! They're gonna chase her with a burning pitchfork and all this shit. She served. She served 11 years when the other girl served like 7. The other girl's been out for a minute. I don't know what the fuck she's been doing, but yeah. I see her being stuck for probably at least I'd put 2 years on it. I'm not an expert, but she does got a good attorney. Anthony Conn is a really good paid attorney.
Is there anything that the media says, like the media has said about her, has said about her case, or has said about you that you think is wrong that needs to be corrected?
Just these stuff. He's sexually attracted to her crime or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm over that. Like my ex-wife talked some sense into me, and she's just like, let that shit die down, and it does. And then it'll pop up for a little bit, and then it'll die. It'll always be part of me at this point. I'll always be tied to that case. But yeah.
So you're known for talking to a lot of other female offenders. I would say currently right now, the big one is Taylor Shabusiness. For those who are listening to this who may not be familiar with her case, can you give some context and then how you got into contact with her?
They're actually quoting her as being the most dangerous woman ever in a courtroom. They're coming out and saying that now.
Mm-hmm.
How did I get in contact with her?
Yeah, I've heard that she's pretty hard to get a hold of, especially with got a reputation of being pretty violent and constantly being put in SAG and things like that. So
she's been missing since June. The only people that I know that currently were getting responses was me, and then a friend I have in Germany. He's not a collector, but he does write her. Mm-hmm. And neither one of us have heard from her since June, which is when she got the second time she got in trouble for attacking guards. So she just went to trial. Technically, she got 90 days added onto her sentence. I don't even know why they're wasting their time with this, but they are. So she attacked the nurse, attacked the captain. She got 90 days added, and then she attacked 2 more guards, stabbed them with part of a fence, They're not doing their jobs, man. These fucking guards, they're not doing their jobs. I never got stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they're not fucking doing their jobs, and they were letting her walk around and wreck, and she pops something off the fence, sharpens it up, and stabs one of them in the thigh, I guess. But no one's heard from her since, and that's been June. And I have people inside there. They're like, she's an administrative segregation, which is they just take all of her pencils. They take everything away from her.
Yeah.
She throws her shit at them. She's been in segregation since she's been in custody. Her crime was in, I believe, February of 2022, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
I think she's going on 4 years of straight segregation. She's not been allowed around anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She is incredibly dangerous. She would attack me given a chance. She would.
Why do you think she would attack you?
Because she is as violent as they say. She attacks her judges.
Mm-hmm.
She attacked her own attorney twice. She'll attack anybody.
So
she would.
Being someone who's spoken with her, what are your guys' correspondence? What is it like communicating with her? What does she say to you? What are you guys?
She has mental illness. So like one letter she might guys, dude, she used to write letters in cursive, and they used to make sense. Now it's just a whole lot of nicknames and tagging and gang signs. She's a Latin king. Her letters have changed so much since I've started writing her.
I've noticed, especially from the stuff that you've sold, is I have one of her hand stencils from early on, and her handwriting's legible and readable.
Yeah,
and all very sharp, and it's almost like she created her own font or something. And she's
yes,
this weird.
Yes, it's like Taylor's business font. Size 16 or whatever. Yes.
Yeah, the Taylor's business.
She keeps switching her nickname. She used to be Little Loca, now it's Susia, which I don't think these are really good terms. I don't know. What does Little Loca mean? Like crazy or something like that?
I think Loca means crazy. So little crazy.
Yeah. She is intense, very intense. I sat down with her for, I think there were at least an hour-long visits, maybe an hour and a half each time. Very, very, she wanted me to kill, dude. She was giving me, people to kill, man. Listen, I'm currently kicked out of all the state of Wisconsin prisons. This is not a joke. I'm not allowed to visit anybody in the state of Wisconsin, and I'm certain it's because of her fucking crazy ass. Because she starts talking about this crazy shit. Go kill this collector. This one burned me. Don't piss her off, people. That woman is batshit. She's legitimately giving orders and trying to get people to fucking do horrible shit if you rip her off.
Does she know that you've sold some of the stuff that she's given you?
Oh yeah. No, we work together. Yeah. Okay. She's earned a lot of money from me. What the fuck she's doing with it, I don't know, because I don't know what privileges she's getting.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see her eating candy bars and all that. I don't know. If you're in segregation, I don't know. Are you allowed candy and shit?
You would know better than me. You've worked in prison.
I actually worked for yeah, not in a jail. I was working for a county jail. So if you're in segregation, you just had a piece of pen. You weren't even allowed a pen. You're allowed a pencil and a notepad, and that's it.
So
yeah, we work together. Yeah, yes, yeah. I'm 100% open about everything I do. And I learned that's the best policy. They tell you that as a kid. Honesty is best policy. I tell inmates right away I'm a correctional officer, so they know that with him at least the first letter, maybe the second letter, they know that I'm an ex-correctional officer.
Have you
And
written to anyone and told them that you were a correctional officer and they wrote back and were like, fuck you, and said mean things?
no, no, but I'm sure I'm sure that it's turned people off. I'm sure as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
You
bought.
know, one person. Oh, Sarah Boone. You ever heard of Sarah Boone?
Yeah, I have a letter from Sarah Boone that's written to you, actually.
Okay. Yes, me and her did not get along. We only lasted like 2 or 3 letters. I think the last thing I wrote to her was like, "Good luck in court, bitch."
Oh
But
yeah.
then like I think the last thing that she wrote me was like, "Leave me alone. I mean it. This is serious." And she wrote that to me.
For
What letter do you have? You got a good one or what? I think there was only 3
I think it's
letters.
like the first letter she wrote back to you. It's her
Okay,
saying,
hell yeah.
yeah, it's her saying, hey, I hope you've got good intentions. There's all these weird people out here.
Okay.
And she's saying, like, write me something nice, like send me a picture of
Yeah.
like butterflies or
And
something.
I sent her pictures of unicorns, kittens, and rainbows. And I wrote on the back each one of them like a little quote. Something nice. No! She motherfucked me in the next letter. That fucking ink got all over my hands. It smeared all over my hands for a week or something. And I was like, oh my God. I thought I did something nice. Yeah, but she
Yeah,
was
so for,
someone,
for those watching that may not be know who we're talking about, we're talking about Sarah Boone. Sarah Boone supposedly was playing hide and seek with her boyfriend and zipped him up in a suitcase and left him there to die. And there's a really infamous video of him begging for her to let him out, and she's drunk and she's
oh,
like, "Fuck
I
you."
seen that on TikTok, dude. On TikTok, I watched that, man.
Yeah.
I didn't think TikTok had that kind of shit.
And I heard she's extremely difficult. Like she's very combative and just argues with
Do you
everybody.
know what happened
Like
to her case?
No, you would probably know better than me.
Oh my God, dude. She went through like 8 or 9 different attorneys. She
Mhm.
kept on firing them or they were quitting. And she turned down a plea of I believe it was 17 years. And she was already on like 4 years already.
Mhm.
She turned it down and she ended up getting life. I think life with the possibility of parole. But she got life.
Wow.
Yes. And I said, good luck at court, bitch. Dude, I don't ever write nasty shit to nobody. That's the only person I ever had like a falling out. So yeah, when you said something, I was like, Sarah Boone, say something with Sarah Boone.
Yeah, she's her own worst enemy. I mean, she's
Yeah,
pretty
narcissist, man. Imagine being that. Oh man, I've had some. I just bought this T-shirt that I came across, and it says, "I only date people that will stab me" or something like that.
yeah, I only
And I
date girls
actually,
that'll stab me.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, and I got that coming in the mail like any day. And I actually had a girl come at me with a knife, and I saved the knife back in 2020. I was in Pittsburgh. She was a drunk. Dude, we lived together for 2 years, and it was like awful, just an awful relationship.
Mhm.
I have never been in an abusive relationship before, so I didn't know how to like respond to like getting kicked in the balls or punched across the face. Like I was stuck down there. I had like nobody. Like, well, my family's in Wisconsin, so like I went out there on this like YouTube. It was like it's hard to explain. I'm part of this YouTube community,
Mhm.
and we were both like YouTube streamers. So if you type in Jeffrey Pagel, you'll come across all kinds of crazy fucking videos of me waxing my fucking eyebrows off, all kinds of weird shit. But yeah, she fucking attacked me with a knife, and it's true. Like I'll date some crazy. Yeah.
So I think this is like something I want to hear your insight on is hybristophilia is the attraction to dangerous people or violent people, and people will date like gang members or date murderers or date whatever.
Yes.
And I was wondering, what's your thought on that, and do you think that you have any? Is that
Yeah.
something
I mean,
you relate to in any way? Or no?
I don't think it's something I grew up ever being attracted to, but maybe since like that incident, like maybe I had like some sort of PTSD from it or something. I don't know. I did have there was a girl I was living with shortly afterwards, and she would notice that anytime she came up behind me, I would always be like jumping and shit like that. So like but I know you're talking about there's definitely an attraction to like Jodi Arias, who doesn't like a crazy wild woman, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
You know Richard Ramirez was a ladies' man, Bundy and all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's women that are into that, and there's men that are into it as well. And I'm sure I do have a bit of it. Yeah, I think it's for me. It's more like I can see past I can see past anybody's crime. I don't judge anybody. I write that in like my first letter to basically anybody. I don't judge anyone because I've made a million I've made a million mistakes in my life. Instead of crimes. Yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I just don't judge anybody. You know.
Talking
Yeah.
about another inmate that's in the same prison as Taylor Schabusiness is Ezra McCandless, and I bought a painting from you of her, and you said that you talked to other people in that same prison, so I was wondering if you could tell me about some of the other girls that you talked to, whether it's at that prison or a different prison, and
Yeah, that's my favorite prison. I just got this piece yesterday. This is from Candace Clark. This is someone that calls me every single day. Can you see it or no?
is it
It's
the
like
Nightmare Before
Nightmare
Christmas?
Before Christmas.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
I just got this yesterday. But that's Candace Clark. That's someone who calls me every day for like a year and a half. He calls me at least once a day, sometimes up to like 6, 7 times. Ezra McCandless. Yeah, I got that artwork from her mother. She was selling that on her Instagram. What do you have? Oh, is it like the blue or Okay. Yeah, I got them all. I got them all in my head.
This is what I have from you.
Oh yes, yeah. I got that from her mom.
Yeah. So.
It's like, yeah. Damn it! Now I gotta come across that fucking. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a nice piece. There's not a lot of her stuff out there.
Yeah, she's a more obscure case, I think. But yeah, I mean, you definitely are like if anyone is looking for female murderers or female murderabilia, you're kind of like the guy.
Yeah, my collection's a little low now. I've sold so much. I have actually started telling people I gotta stop. Like I do. I love that I'm doing it for my kids, but if I didn't have like when my kids are older, I'm gonna collect stuff. You know what I mean? I hate, dude. I hate like looking back and seeing the 30 or 40 different pieces of Morgan Geyser art that I've sold.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn. And I know you got a badass piece of art too.
Yeah, I have a really.
And I know which one it is. Is it that one that's like the fucking decapitated corpse?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn it, man. Yeah, that's probably if the state of Wisconsin got a hold of that piece, they'd be like, "Oh my God, send her to life." Yeah, that's like the most vulgar one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Fucking cool.
Yes. I mean, thanks to you, it's out there. It's in good hands. I'm gonna take good care of it. You know.
Hell yeah, you have been. Yeah. That's awesome.
What is it about female killers that attracts you? Like, everyone kind of has their niche that they're into, but that's kind of what you're going for. I don't know if I've ever seen you have like anything. I saw you went and visited Dahmer's old apartment and have like.
Oh yeah, that's because I'm out here. Yeah, I live right out here. I live like 19 minutes away from the Oxford apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started writing both sexes, and I realized that females are mostly responding to me, and I think once Head and Clark weirded me out, I think I was like, okay, I'm gonna start writing only females because this guy's creeping me out, man.
What happened with you?
Yeah, he was asking me for like pictures of like some actress that was like a young actress that's probably like 10 years old or something.
Mm-hmm.
He just kept asking and asking, and he's like, he was basically telling me he'll give me anything that he has in his cell if I get him a signed picture of this like cast member from Young Sheldon or something, maybe like that. I don't know. It's some ABC fucking TV. I don't even know. I don't know. And I was like, okay, I don't know. I'm just not good talking to I guess I'm not really I'm not good talking to dudes. I don't really have a lot of male friends. All my people in my life are females. You know. Yeah, I click more with females by far. I can be open with most of them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Was that the case before you were talking to when you were like younger? Were most of your friends women or girls or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, they thought actually, most people thought I was gay. I grew up in a Pentecostal religion, a household of Pentecostals. You know Pentecostals?
No, it sounds religious.
Yeah, they speak in tongues and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
I was raised in kind of like a really strict religion, and I kind of didn't. I was always the like girl in school, like best friend, but I was never able to like date.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't start dating until I was like 22, and then I've always my best friend have always been women. I always just trust them more.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I really don't know why. There's not a whole lot of women in this hobby, eh? I mean, there's some out there.
Yeah, it seems to be male dominated, but there are people there are women that are into the murderabilia scene. What is your overall thought? Like now that you're a more prominent figure in the murderabilia community, what are your thoughts on the murderabilia community and also kind of like the social stigma that comes with the hobby?
Yeah, I mean, I could catch a lot of judgment and stuff like that. So people should really not look so harsh. I'm someone that's making $140 every month, as opposed to Netflix that's making $140 million a month in true crime streaming every fucking month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I never had, like, I always thought this shit was cool. I mean, if I could ever came across this stuff growing up, I would have thought this stuff have been awesome to have been collecting 20, 30 years ago. But I didn't even know about this stuff until my girlfriend said that crazy shit, and I started writing people in custody. And then I was like, wait a minute, people will buy your letters? Oh, yeah. Wait, how do you got something from the Slenderman girl? No one's ever gotten nothing from her.
Mm-hmm.
My problem was I got hit with that case way too early. I didn't even know what I had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I honestly I think I could definitely see my daughter getting into this one day. My daughter is into K-pop. You know what that is? It's a Korean music.
Yeah.
She writes all of her favorite bands letters and stuff in Korean. Like, she knows how to speak multiple languages. So she's already into pen paling, and she keeps on coming to me. She sent me a link when Morgan escaped, and she goes, oh my God, Dad, the Slenderman girl escaped custody. So I had to sit there and act like I didn't know nothing. But yeah, my daughter doesn't even know, but one day she's going to think that's the coolest fucking thing in the world, because she always sends me links regarding Morgan, and I got to play it off like I don't know. But one day she's going to click the wrong link, because, like, I would see maybe 1 out of every 10 news articles will have my name somewhere in there, or, like, them suggesting me. Mm-hmm. So she's going to come across the wrong article one day and see your dad's name in there. Yeah.
What are you gonna do when that conversation happens?
I'm actually excited for it to happen. I know she's gonna think her dad's like nuts, but yeah, I think she's got a big heart like me. She'll see the good things that we can do as well. You know, we're not all scumbags. You know, I actually help out a lot of inmates that I get to know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time
Oh yeah.
to sit and talk with me. Um,
Anytime, man.
yeah. Do you have anything that you want to promote or anything that you want to throw out
No,
there?
I'm all good.
Okay.
I'm all good. Stay safe, everyone.
Awesome, dude. Well, thank you,
All right.
and we'll
Yep.
talk later. Have a good
All
one.
right. Take care, bud. You too.